Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 1st to the 15th, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Taurus, December 1st to the 15th, 2022 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Hierophant, Taurus, that's us, coming through the very essence of us. And we have the Empress. I love this. There is something that we're bringing forward into the world that we're creating, and that's really beautiful. The very essence of us is coming forward, and that's just going to be powerful. So then at our inner self, we have the Magician, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Eight of Wands. Then in our emotional self, we have the Empress, and we have the Hierophant. Now Temperance. Temperance is Sagittarius energy. So if we have Sagittarius within our natal chart, this is going to be coming through very powerfully here in our emotional self. Then in our public arena self, we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, and we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. So if we have Virgo or Gemini within our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully in the public arena. Also, if we're born on the cusp with Gemini, that part of our personality will also be coming out very strongly during this time. A lot of major arcana cards are here, which is spectacular. This is going to be a heavy hitting time. It's going to be a powerful way to start off the new year. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides. This is the King of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is energy that is astoundingly cutting. It's also going to be astoundingly factual. I want just the facts. I want to see it just as it is. I want no emotion behind it. And people can think, Taurus, that's very easy for us to do. Very easy just to give the facts and be kind of a little bit distant or aloof. People could categorize us that way if they wanted to. they would just be a bit wrong, or they wouldn't know us as well as they think they do. So this is going to be a time where, yes, we can play this game. Yes, we can give just the facts, but we're also going to find it astoundingly hard. We're going to find this person's words, which can be biting and cruel, to be biting and cruel. That's not going to be like water off of a duck's back. It's going to kind of resonate in with us a little bit more than we want it to. So this is also going to be a time in an interaction where don't take their words seriously. Don't let them rip you apart, because this is a person who can just be, they can just be cold. They can just be cold. They can just be biting. This is the negative aspects of air sign energy, and that's it. And it doesn't have to be relegated to air sign energy. It's going to be that interaction or that person who gives a compliment and an insult at the exact same time, who is caustic, who is rude, who is, who's going to just, strip it all down to the numbers of the thing, or to, to almost like a spreadsheet. And that's not where we are, and that's not really where we want to be. So just be very mindful of this. Our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is communication. This is the throat chakra. This is being able to communicate what we want. We are going to be needing to communicate with ourselves, with the world around us, with our angels, with our spirit guides, but mostly with us. What do I want? How do I need to move forward? What is important to me? Communication is going to be key. And yet this is going to be also a time where we don't really want to communicate, because we can find the communications that we have to be a bit biting, to be a bit caustic, to be a bit overwhelming. So just be mindful of just being open and honest with ourselves, and then seeing where kind of the cards fall from there. So let's talk about things astrologically speaking. So on the 1st of January, we have the Sun trine Uranus. Now this is a wonderful energy to start the new year with. This is a time where we are comfortable standing out and embracing who we really are. And that's coming through at the root of us as well. We have no problem expressing our individuality and should let ourselves shine. It's going to be really important just to let ourselves stand in our own power. We will also be in tune with the world around us and be blessed with a lot of great insights from our dreams, but also just from our interactions. So be aware of that. Also on the 1st of January, we have Mercury trine the North Lunar Node. Now this is another powerful and positive alignment. It is said that our lives and our life purpose are echoed between the North Lunar Node and the South Lunar Node, where the North Lunar Node is the head of the dragon and the South is the tail. So this is going to be the power of us really being able to come forward. We will enjoy figuring out the whys and the how comes about things, about ourselves, about the people around us. We're kind of like a little bit of a detective, of going deeper into what we want, deeper into those around us, deeper into the world around us at large, and not just seeing things for surface value. We are also not going to take things personally during this time, which is fantastic. Now on the 2nd of January, we have the new moon in Capricorn, and there will be a separate video done on that. And we also have on the 2nd of January, Mercury entering into Aquarius. Now, Mercury loves being in Aquarius. This is because it brings a positivity and a positive outlook to things. There's going to be smooth sailing up to the 14th. Now, at the 14th, we're going to have Mercury going into retrograde, and that's going to make things a little bit more trying. So just be aware of that. And there will be a separate video done on Mercury retrograde. The 5th of January, we have Venus sextile Neptune. Now with Venus sextile, okay, hold on. I can't say that word. And we also have Virgo energy here and Gemini energy, which I completely overlooked. Gemini and Virgo energy are ruled by Mercury. So we have Mercury entering into Aquarius. That's going to be very powerful for us, especially in the public arena on the 2nd of January. We also have Mercury trine the North Lunar Node, which is going to be astoundingly powerful for us on the 1st of January. So this is going to be a time where, again, we're seeing our purpose, we're diving deeper into things. We want to know the whys and the how comes. It's going to be so absolutely intrinsically important to us. There's going to be power here, and also we're going to be hit by Mercury going into retrograde a little bit harder. We're going to find us stumbling over our words, or not seeing things, or saying things as clearly as we want to, or feeling like, my gosh, if only they could communicate better, we'd be in a better place. So just know that the frustration will be coming forward. On the 5th of January, we have Venus sextile Neptune. Now, we are ruled by Venus, so this is going to be a very powerful day for us. This is a passionate day where we need to really express our feelings. We will be highly creative and need to express that creativity. We will also really enjoy being surrounded by beauty. Now, Taurus, that's our thing. We love being surrounded by beauty and quality. So on this day, to kind of amplify that or take special note of that or plan to have a me day, a self-care day, that will mean everything for us. We're also going to exude charm and be astoundingly attractive on this day, which is always a positive. And again, it will just help our energy vibration and enhance our mood if we take a me day, or if we just take time to ourselves, to be able to care for ourselves, to be able to pamper ourselves, to be able to let us know that we matter. Now, on the 8th of January, the sun is conjunct Venus. Again, very powerful for us because we are ruled by Venus. This is a day that personifies love and peace. We need to surround ourselves with beauty. Once again, that's going to be really important, and give ourselves permission to express our emotions, which we can find to be a little bit challenging because we're just going to want to keep on soldiering forward, keep on moving towards our goals. This is a time when low energy vibration people can have a huge effect on us in a negative way. We're going to be very sensitive to people's energy, and so we have to be very mindful of the people that we surround ourselves with. On the 10th of January, Mercury is trine Chiron. Again, Mercury energy, very powerful, especially in the public arena. This is a harmonious aspect that helps us to heal ourselves and others. Chiron is known as the wounded warrior. We're going to be seeing ourselves, especially on the 10th of January, talking through a lot of pains, a lot of hurts. There's a lot of open communication. This can be a day where people just open up to us in ways that we never expected. Strangers can open up to us and we can think, that was a lot. But just letting us know and just letting it be known in our inner selves that we have a talent for, on this day, saying the right thing at the right time. We have a talent for, letting our ideas flow and embracing emotions and ancient wisdoms that people are going to find very helpful, very soothing, and we're going to find very helpful and very soothing. On the 11th of January, the sun is sextile Neptune. Now, this is a powerful creative time that should be utilized. Neptune makes us highly sensitive because it really connects us with the spirit realm, with our spiritual selves, with our hopes, our dreams, and our aspirations, which is something that we're trying to give our dreams a real practical, identity during this time, and looking at the new year and saying, okay, how do I move forward in the power, in the expression, in the understanding that is me. So being mindful of our own sensitivity, surrounding ourselves with that mindfulness and that acceptance. There's also going to be a lot of psychic potential here, which can be very overwhelming if we're not ready for it, or if we are being disconnected, or if we are disconnected from ourselves and our dreams and what we desire. There's going to be little taps on our shoulders that say, wake up, look at this. So just be mindful of that. Also on the 11th of January, we have Mars squared Neptune. Now this alignment brings profound and varying energy. So on the one hand, we have this positivity, this bravery, this glamour, this elegance to us, and yet on the other hand, we have an intrigue and a scandal. It's kind of like, what's going on here? How do I dive deeper into this? How do I understand things? So it's very much, I just see the glitz and the glam of Hollywood, right? Where if you look at it at the surface, everything looks fantastic. It's like, wow, why wouldn't I love that life or that way of being? And yet, if you dive deeper, all that glitters isn't gold. And so on this day, on the 11th, with Mars squared Neptune, all that glitters isn't gold. And we're just going to have to remind ourselves about this. This is also a time to listen to our inner voice and to stand apart from the chaos of the world, not be drawn into that chaos, that overwhelming aspect. Again, the 14th of January is Mercury going retrograde. So highlight that day. Know that things can get wonky and overwhelming. Mercury will be in retrograde till the 3rd of February. And it's going to not be as intense because it's going to be in Aquarius, and Mercury really loves being in Aquarius, to the 25th. So till the 25th of January, we might not see Mercury retrograde being as intense, but because both of our cards here in the public arena are ruled by Mercury. We have Virgo and we have Gemini. We're going to find that we are affected by any aspect of Mercury during this time quite profoundly. So our communication is going to be key to us. We're going to find that we really are good with our words. But when Mercury goes into retrograde on the 14th, we can kind of feel like we're tripping up, even though others might not see that we're tripping up. Just be mindful of this, because everybody's going to feel like, oh my gosh, if only I could say the right things or do the right things at the right time, that would be better for me. So just being aware of this, because everybody's going through this Mercury retrograde. Now at our root here, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is us in the tarot, in the major arcana. We are embracing the power, the brilliance, and the understanding that is Taurus. What we also have to know, Taurus, is that we're represented by the Pope. So the Pope in medieval times, that was the ruler of everything. That was the person who told emperors, empresses, kings, and queens what to do. So when our power comes forward and we truly embrace who we are in the energy of Taurian power and insight, we become unstoppable. We also are a person that people listen to, that people take note of. So do be mindful of this. We're getting the keys to open up the doors. And we might say, okay, what keys, what doors, Dane, what's opening for us? What we're going to see is that we're starting to get ideas. We're starting to get insights. We're starting to get understandings that start to unlock a lot of things that were held back from us, that we didn't have the full understanding of. And now we're going to see that starting to fall into place, that we start seeing ourselves differently. We start seeing the world around us differently, and that becomes a powerful passion forward. It brings us then to the Empress. The Empress here is, of course, pregnant. She has her hand at her belly. So this can be a time of great fertility for us. If that's something that we're interested in, if that's something that we need to be mindful of, do be mindful of it, because we have the Empress showing up twice. But at our root, we are starting to create something and bring something forward into the world that has to do with us really starting to see ourselves, to understand ourselves, understand our passion, our desire, and our insight. The Empress comes forward and says, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I love. This is what I want. And this is what I need within my life. I'm birthing forward my ideas. I'm birthing forward my creativity. I'm birthing forward my passion and myself. I'm letting myself really start to shine. And that brings us to the Magician. In our inner self, it's as above, so below. As I believe it, so it becomes. And that becomes a game changer here. We start to realize the power of our beliefs. We start to realize the power of what we're focusing on. And whether that focusing, it could be that we're overwhelmed and we might need to talk to somebody, a therapist, a spiritual advisor, a friend, or a journal, to be able to release a lot of the thoughts that we have, a lot of what's holding us back within our lives, to be able to see things and to be able to realize, like, oh, I never saw it that way. I also love the therapist, what is her name? Esther Perel. She's absolutely amazing. She's on YouTube. She has a podcast. She's just so grounding to listen to. And that's something that I find astoundingly beneficial, just to hear her point of view, just to hear her practical way of saying everything. And so here with the Magician, we're going to find there's magic. There's magic in our world. There's magic in ourselves. There's magic in what we desire, what we want, and what we need, as we're really embracing our hearts, as we're starting to see things not in the context of that, well, that's the way you're supposed to see things, or this is the way that it's supposed to be, but in the context of, I'm embracing my heart. I'm letting myself move forward emotionally. I'm letting myself start to heal. Some people ask, Dane, why do you bring a psychological aspect to your readings? Well, that's how the cards speak to me. That's how the cards lead me forward. And I find it very beneficial. It's something that I'm very passionate about and very much believe in. And so here, when we're looking at the doors opening, when we're looking at ourselves, intuitively, or even just personally, we're going to start to say, okay, well, where's my mind at? What am I frustrated about? What am I bringing forward at this time that maybe I don't need to be bringing forward, or maybe is linked to something else? Where's the frustration coming from? I'm standing before the altar of my existence and I'm seeing my gifts. I'm seeing my passions. I'm seeing what I desire. And we might be really surprising ourselves with what we desire, with the way that we want to move forward, with the things that we want to do. There can be an element of wanting an adventure in our lives, wanting to break the monotony of the routine that makes one day blend into the other and makes us just feel completely overwhelmed by the monotony of it all. And so as we stand before the altar of our existence, we're calling forward our passion. We're calling forward our power. We're calling forward, our desire for life. And we're finding that there's great potential within us. There's great power within us that we might have just felt like there wasn't, because everything has become overwhelming, it leads us to the Five of Cups. Change your mind and change your life. Change what you are looking at. Because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's the 3 cups spilt on the ground, the person staring at those spilt cups. And then behind them is the 2 of Cups standing. The 2 cups standing represents the 2 of Cups, the minor arcana Lover's card. Union, connection, understanding, healing. And yet what we're looking at is hurt and pain and disappointment and sorrow. Why? Because the negative stands out way more than the positive. That's how our, ancient brains were wired. You had to really be aware of what would hurt you, of what would harm you, of what would kill you, and not aware as much as what would bring you love and comfort and security. Those were important. But again, you had to remember, don't cross that river. There are alligators. Don't go over there. There are tigers and lions and bears. Oh my. That type of energy, that type of thing was astoundingly important. And so here, when we're looking at what's built, as we're looking at what we can't correct, it's like, okay, that's the past. And there has to be a time where we come to realize that I cannot change it, that I have to honor the present that I stand in, the person that I am, the place that I need to be. And that leads us to the 8 of Wands. Like, once we start to open up that door, all of a sudden things start happening so quickly that it boggles the mind. It's like, oh my gosh, ready or not, here it comes. And that's because, yes, we're changing our energy vibration. We're changing, what we're looking at, what we're calling forward. We're being astoundingly open and honest with ourselves in a way that we may never have been before. And that is the game changer here. And things really start to pick up speed. Things really start to move forward in a way that just absolutely surprises us. It brings us to the Empress. It brings us again to that place of birthing forward what we need to create, what we need and what we desire. But also here with the story of Rhiannon from Welsh mythology, we're finding that we claim a throne that was taken from us. We claim a power that others thought we weren't worthy of, or maybe we thought we weren't worthy of. And now we're saying, you know what, no more. No longer am I punishing myself. No longer am I denying myself what I truly want and what I truly need from my life. And as we do this, we dive deeper. We dive deeper into what we want. We see things so much more openly and honestly. We start to find the balance. And remember here that there is thus just this tremendous power of insight, of realization, of the heart opening, of the mind opening, of us starting to see things in a way that, again, we hadn't seen it before. We didn't realize, we didn't think to look at it this way. And as we are looking, as we are developing, as we are seeing, as we are calling this energy forward, it's changing us. And as it's changing us, we're starting to see ourselves in a way that is powerful, in a way that is open, in a way that is honest. But we're also starting to balance what our hearts want and what our minds want, what the world is demanding of us and what we want to demand of us. We're starting to give ourselves a voice. And as we're giving ourselves a voice, and as we're seeing what it is that we desire, we're turning inward. This is not going to be a time where we need to be center stage all the time, though we can have that element to us with the Magician and with the Empress, and even with our own personality as the Hierophant coming forward. But what we have here with the Hermit is I'm turning into what I need. I'm turning into my energy. I'm turning into what I can bring forward for myself. I'm turning into what I love and what I desire and what I see for me. That starts to illuminate my path. That starts to give me, some guidance forward that I desperately needed and maybe even didn't know I needed. This is the game changer. And as this is the game changer, this is also the empowerer. And as I am empowered, I'm starting to see what I love. I'm starting to call my love forward. The passion is coming back into my life. Why? Because I'm making room for it, but I'm also making it a priority. I'm making it a priority to say I matter and that I can stand here in what I deserve and what I desire from my life and for my life. Because we all deserve to be happy. We all desire happiness. And yet at times it can almost feel like happiness is just so elusive, so unobtainable because of everything else that is demanded of us, but also of everything that we've done wrong. Everything that we can sit there and say, well, I didn't handle that perfectly, and I didn't handle that perfectly, so I'm going to deny myself my happiness. Or, I'm going to wait till I make this person happy, and then I get to be happy because they're happy too. And what Spirit is saying here is like, no, let yourself shine. Let yourself embrace your love. Let yourself embrace your passion. Let yourself move forward in brilliance. And don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by, the person that looks really good on paper, or the job that looks really good on paper. And yet when you get there, it's like miserable. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself and listen to your inner voice, because that way we follow our passion forward, and it might be a road we never thought of walking. It might be a way forward we never thought of expressing and being a part of. And yet once we find it, it's like, oh, I feel like I've come home. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the King of Pentacles. This is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is us. We have to be mindful not to get in our own way. We also have to be mindful not to, boil everything down to facts and quantifiable things. We're going to be very good at that during this time, but also just regularly, Taurus. We're very good at looking at, the net worth of things, or the worth of things, and saying, okay, what's worth my time and what isn't? How do I move forward, and how do I not? How are these things interconnected, and how can I build it forward? And yes, this might be very good for our portfolio. It might be very good for our work and our bank accounts, but it will drain us, because we'll be so focused on this that we'll forget about the beauty of life. We'll forget about the creativity. And this is a time where we need to balance both. It really is. We're also going to be very drawn to people, okay, that we see as successful. Now, as we see them as successful, they most likely are successful, right? But they're successful for them. We get to be successful for us. And instead of trying to make us into somebody we're not, it's time to really embrace our own gifts and our own talents. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is angels and masters. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. This is angels, this is divinity, this is being protected, and this is being carried forward. Protected, loved, and cherished. So there is definitely healing, protective energy around us. It moves us to our subconscious rooted self, which is justice. This is Libra energy. So if we have Libra within our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully here at our root. But it's being discerning with the energy that we're letting in. It's being discerning about how we're balancing our world, where things are out of balance, where things are out of harmony, where we want the balance to come forward. It's finding ourselves. It's, seeing ourselves. It's moving forward towards what we desire. And it's being just, not just to the rest of the world, but also to us. Carving out time and connecting with us. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, and that is the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is new openings, new harbors opening, new ships coming in, new ideas coming forward. This is a time where we should carry around a little notebook, or keep a little note tab open on our phone, and just speak in ideas, see things differently. Let our mind open up. Don't keep ourselves held back, because there's something here where it's like, I can get this far, and then it's like, oh no, I can't do this. It's like, oh yes, I can. Yes, I can do this, and more importantly, I will. I will be going forward towards something so much more than I realized I could be. And I'm starting to see my ships come in. I'm starting to see my ideas take root. I'm starting to see myself empowered. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the 10 of Wands. Emotionally, we're letting go of so much baggage, so much of what we've been carrying, so much of what has been defining us. And it's like, I'm done. I'm done with the weight of the world being on my shoulders. I'm done with taxing myself, overburdening myself, trying to be everything for everyone, and yet feeling like I just have more put on me, and nobody sees and nobody understands. So this is going to be a time where we start to release. Now, this can also be a time where we look at, it might not be for everybody else, but the emotional baggage that we carry for ourselves, the things that we say, but you were supposed to do this, and but you were supposed to do that, and I can't believe you messed up this way. And we have to start being kinder to ourselves as we're moving forward. But this is a release of what has been keeping us from embracing our passion, from embracing what we desire, from embracing the way that we need to move forward for ourselves. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and it is the Knight of Coins. Subconsciously, we are a warrior for our own prosperity. We are represented by the coins, the pentacles in the minor arcana, and this is us saying, this is what I fight for, this is what I desire, this is what I want, this is what I need. I'm slowly and steadily building a solid foundation. I'm slowly and steadily building something more than I ever realized that I wanted, that I needed, or that I could manifest within my own life. This is a time where we are warriors. This is a time where we are focused. And this is a time where we are astoundingly driven. All right. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.